Okay, why don't we all have a seat? We'll get started. Dr. Brock, can I invite you to the stage? Everybody please welcome Executive Vice President Dr. Brock.
Thank you and welcome. On behalf of the President, Dr. Terry McMahon, and the administration, we want to congratulate you on your achievement today. We know that you've worked very hard to get where you are. We're very proud of you, and we have this celebration to appreciate what you've done. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brock, and welcome to all of you to the summer 2011 ESL graduation. You know, it wasn't easy to get here, especially in the summer, the long hot days, right? And many hours of English, right? And grammar and vocabulary, all those fun things. We have a guest speaker here today. He is going to have a little talk with you and give you some words of inspiration, and I am going to introduce him to you. Some of his work you can see on the PowerPoints above. I'm referring to his particular company. And let me tell you a little bit about our keynote speaker, Todd Gates. Todd Gates grew up in a small town surrounded by chemical plants in Virginia. His mother was a nurse, and his father became ill with a disease that we call polio. He knew at a very young age that he did not want to work in the chemical plants, the factories, right? So in 1984, he moved to Naples with his wife, and they moved into a very small apartment on US 41 and Pine Ridge Road. They shared a car, and they had enough money to live for 3 months. But when Todd's in-laws, you know his in-laws, his wife's mother and father, right, decided to visit, Todd rode his bicycle to the Rhodes furniture store, and he bought a couch, some chairs, and a bed, all on credit, right? We've all done that, right? Buy on credit. After that, Todd began to work for the largest concrete company in Naples. One day, Todd asked his not-so-nice boss if he could become an estimator. He wanted to do more than just drywall. He wanted to learn. At first, the boss said no. But after Todd calculated labor and material costs for different jobs without pay for 3 weeks, then the boss decided to give him a chance doing estimation. He says he learned an important lesson from working at this job, which is no matter how bad it gets, never give up. So one day, Todd bought that business from that unhappy boss. And 20 years after buying that furniture on credit, his construction company took down that building with the Rhodes Furniture Store and designed and built a new one. From there, Todd's business partnerships and community service grew. When Todd is not working, he spends his free time serving on the board of directors for the President's Forum of the Economic Development Council of Collier County, the board of trustees for the Florida Chamber of Commerce Foundation, the board of directors for the Children's Hospital of Southwest Florida, Junior Achievement, and Liberty Bank. This is all volunteer. Pay attention to the PowerPoint, right? He also serves as a trustee for the YMCA and for Hodges University. He's a member of the Florida Chamber of Commerce Board of Governors and CEO for the Cultural Advisory Board for the United Arts Council. In 2007, Todd Gates was named an Entrepreneur of the Year by Gulf Coast Business Review, and he was also honored by the Education Foundation of Collier County as a 2007 Man of Distinction in recognition for his commitment and dedication to this community. There's so many honors and memberships that Todd has. I've only highlighted a few of them. I invited him to speak here today because he is a trustee of our institution, which means he represents you, the students, and also because his story represents the American dream. A poor boy who wanted more, worked hard, and achieved it, and now he's giving back to the community. So, students, faculty, Dr. Brock and McMahon, please welcome Todd Gates to the stage to meet you.
I'm exhausted just by listening to the introduction. Alicia, thank you so much for your kind words. Good morning, everyone. And as I look around the room, I see a lot of friendly faces, and it looks more like appropriate that I should say, buenos dias, mis amigos. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here this morning. It's an honor to be here, and everyone in this room should be proud, not only the students, but the friends and the faculty and the family of the students. So I want to personally congratulate you on your milestone. It means a big thing, especially in today's global world. So let me talk about this morning. The value that you have just achieved by basically being able to speak multiple languages is huge. Today's market is truly a global market. Information, products, businesses travel in milliseconds. We can speak in just about every culture around the world. We can do business in just about every culture in the world. The political boundaries, the cultural boundaries, the transportation boundaries, the travel boundaries are gone. It truly is a much smaller world, faster world, flatter world. When you look at the world from an economic perspective, you've got 5 economic regions. You've got the United States, you've got the European markets, you've got the Asian Pacific markets, you've got the Middle Eastern markets, and you've got what used to be called the emerging markets, which is Latin America. Those 5 markets run the world. Those 5 markets drive the world. Those 5 markets give every person in this room a job, and hopefully a better job in the future. If you're able to speak at least in one of those languages, preferably in multiple of those languages, you can imagine the value to the world marketplace. Take, for example, if you had a finance degree or a business degree here from Hodges, and you could speak English, Spanish, Chinese, what would your value be to the world stage? Your signing bonus would look like Michael Jordan's. So keep in mind, it truly is a global world that you're competing in. You're not competing against students next to you. You're not competing against fellow employees of Fort Myers. You're competing against people on the other side of the world. And every single thing that you do, everything that we do, everything we do as a nation. So always keep that in mind. The United States has 300 million people that speak, hopefully, English. China has 1.3 billion people. India has 1 billion people. Latin America has 650 million people. The sheer size of those countries alone, those areas of the world alone, will dominate the world marketplace going forward. If you do not speak more than one language going forward, you will be left behind. Your value will decrease. If you speak more than one language, your value will increase. The laws of physics, there's nothing constant. You're either going forward or you're going backward. If you're not learning, you're going backwards. If you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. If you think you're sitting idle, you're losing, you're going backwards. A couple of interesting stats on how the world's changed. And I'll give you some different industries. Tennis. How's that for out of the box? 1982. 78 out of the 128 tennis players that were playing in the U.S. Open were from the United States. 60%. 2007. only 20 of them were from the United States, 15%. The top 16 players at the US Open in 2007, 10 of them were from different countries. Business, IPOs, initial public offerings. It wasn't too long ago that every one of the initial public offerings that made any sense or made a splash in the world economy for the United States. In 2005, 24 out of the 25 IPOs were issued outside of the United States. China, Latin America, Europe, Middle Eastern markets. Taxes. The United States used to have the lowest tax rate in all the industrial nations around the world. Today, we're the second highest. In the near future, we'll probably be the highest. What that means is there's 25 other countries that you can do business in and pay less taxes. Being able to speak multiple languages in those countries will make you more valuable, whether it's here or whether it's abroad. Again, whether it's tennis, whether it's economics, whether it's business, whether it's just competing for a job, it's a world race. And the world's not playing to compete anymore. They're playing to win. Being able to speak multiple languages, as you guys do, has made you extremely valuable to the world market. Along with the education, and along with being able to speak multiple languages, there's a couple of other things I think are critically important, not only at home, not only in society, not only in the country, not only the world. One of those two is character. Character is hugely, hugely important, and unfortunately is lacking in many parts of the world, many parts of the United States. Character is not what you do on stage. Character is not what you do in front of a teleprompter. Character is not what you do in a business meeting. Character is what you feel and see when you look in the mirror when you're by yourself. Do you like what you see? Pretty easy question. Pretty easy answer. Every time you meet someone, you're going to leave a piece of yourself with that person. Ask yourself, what did you leave? Does that person feel good? Does that person feel bad? Is that person better off by meeting you? Again, there's no such thing as a small change. Everything you do has a ripple effect on everybody you meet. Somebody once told me that when it comes to character, it's pretty simple. As you heard my background, I'm a pretty simple person. You can judge the character of a person by three simple ways. How they treat the elderly, how they treat young children, and how they treat animals. Pretty easy to tell if they're good people or not, pretty quick. Balance and priorities is the second. In today's marketplace, in today's world, you're students, you're probably working multiple jobs, you come from all levels of families, economic backgrounds, social backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. The whole world in your life today is about balance. Too much of a good thing is bad. Your favorite food, if you eat it every day, becomes not too good after a while. It's also not very healthy. So if you do too much of one thing, it's bad. Make sure you've got balance in your life. When it comes to balance, you're faced with priorities, and you will be, even when you were studying, even when you were working, even with your families. You're going to get confused on what your priorities are in life. I do all the time. In today's crazy world, especially with the economic times that we live in, the way I determine my priorities in life, again, very, very simplistic. An old man once told me that if you get confused, close your eyes, picture your funeral. It's pretty deep. Look at the people in the church. Look at the people that are grieving. picture the people in church. Picture the people that are grieving. The people that are on the first 1 or 2 or 3 rows, when you're confused, they're your priorities. So take good care of those people. Nobody will ever forget that everybody will forget that you missed a meeting. Nobody will forget that you missed a Little League game. Or you missed saying something nice to your spouse, or your mother, or your father. So to me, they're the real priorities in this hectic world that we live. In closing, and I was told I could only speak for 10 minutes, and that's what I'll do. And Terry's heard me say this on a few occasions. I close out every meeting with this, and I close out every talk with this, and I truly believe it at my core. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter where you start financially. As long as you have your health, you've got 3 decisions to make in the morning. And only 3. You can jump out of bed and make a difference. It's in your control. You can fall out of bed and wait for something to happen. Or you can lay in bed and have no clue what happened. It's your choice. So thank you for allowing me to be here. Congratulations to you and your family and your friends. And muchas gracias.
Okay, I think we're going to begin with Immokalee, is that right? Okay. The professors will introduce themselves and they're going to call one individual. Okay, Professor Boyd.
Hello everyone. My name is Jesus Hernandez and I teach at Immokalee, level 1. I'm a student today that was hard to decide, really hard to decide who was the best one. I wrote all of them is certificate. And I wrote even my favorite PGB of the TCM here. I never missed a day of class. Today, she's not here. So her name is Judeline Ortega.
Good morning. I'm Arthur Boyer, and I teach reading, writing, grammar, listening, and speaking, level 1, 2, and 3. And I've been with Hodges for about 7 years, 5 years as a student, and 2 years teaching, and I'm having a lot of fun. It was so amazing this semester to observe how a group of students coming from different ethnic, social, education, and other type of backgrounds in just a few weeks were able to transcend all the differences to become a successful team of winners. And we are so proud of them all. Level 1, 2, and 2 in Immokalee. Now, how do you select the best student from a team of the best? And they helped me also doing that. So I can tell you the tribe has spoken. Maria Moreno, your friends from level 2 have decided that you are the student of the semester in level 2. I remember Maria, let me say something about it. Because they tried to embarrass me the whole semester, it's my time to do it today. I remember the first day I had a chance to talk to her in class. When I said hello, introduced myself after that, and everybody tried to say something in English. And Maria said, no way, not me. And I said, and why not? She said, yo no hablo inglés, yo no quiero aprender inglés. So I said, then why are you here? No say. So it was so amazing watching how Maria, after just 2 semesters, she becomes such a wonderful student. And the whole semester, she became the symbol of perseverance, and she has perfect attendance also, and she was the mentor of the class. Maria, it is such an honor.
I guess it's my turn now. My name is Francisco Perez Mas. I've been with Hodges for about 2.5 years also. I teach in Monthly most of the times, and most of the days. So my question is, where would you rather be at 5 o'clock in the evening? I mean, everybody would rather be home, watching TV, taking care of the family. So it takes a lot from these students to go there at 5 o'clock and stay until 10, you know, tired and everything. So that deserves a lot of credit. And but this student we're going to talk about now, he was there every night, but he found time to go to Fort Myers, spend time at the library there. Sometimes I was in Fort Myers and I met him there. I saw him, what are you doing here? Well, studying, this and that. He's been a great student throughout the whole semester, a great inspiration for others too. It's my pleasure to introduce this, or to present this award to Lucien Centillas.
Good morning. Level 1A was a very good group. That's why it was difficult to choose just one person. The students were very committed and did very well with English. However, there is one student who is a great example of somebody who works very hard, helps others, and for that, she deserves this recognition for her great efforts in learning English. This recognition goes to Kai Yu.
My name is Art Burton, and I'm just finishing my second year here at Hodges. I did have the pleasure of teaching all 3 level 1 classes, but I also have a special pleasure of presenting a recognition award to level 1B. And you know, it is so difficult to pick a student that you want to recognize. You know, the teachers talk, and then they talk some more, and then they talk some more. And finally, we all come to agreement on a particular person. This person participates in class, does the work that's assigned, pays attention in class, and speaks English in class. Works with their teammates, their classmates, and overall does a wonderful job. So I would like to present recognition, do we mean it? Pepero. Pepero. I had trouble all semester saying your name.
Nancy Jessup, and I'm going to be presenting for 1C today. And I teach mostly listening and speaking and pronunciation, and it's a wonderful class to teach because you get to know the people, you get to hear people's stories and experiences, and there's a real intimacy happening. This student learned a lot about her during the class, and she's perseverant and intelligent and good-natured. And unfortunately, also not here today because she's been holding down a job and coming to school. So Anna Perez. Okay, I'm also presenting for level 2A today, and I got to know the class when I was substituting, but this is a decision from all the teachers who taught the class, and there was one student who was consistently good-natured and always going the extra effort to learn and exploring, and the award goes to Crittenden, who's sitting right there. Crittenden Shahai. Oh, I think he took his daughter. So. Okay, it goes to Crittenden.
So he's not here? Okay. Well, good morning everybody. My name is Lobar, and I have been teaching listening and speaking classes this semester so far. And today, I'm very happy to give the honor to the student from level 2B. First of all, I would like to say that it was my pleasure to teach level 2B speaking classes. This group was and still one of my favorite classes. So, however, after long discussion with other teachers, we decided to choose one student, and this student always had a smile on his face. He has great attitude. His participation was very good during the classes, and this honor goes to Petrika. Congratulations.
And I have a surprise announcement that the award in 2A, nobody knows, but it goes to Crittenden Shahai.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Swank. This semester I taught level 1 and 2, and I also had the pleasure of working with a lot of wonderful students. And it is difficult to choose one, but this one has a lot of wonderful qualities. He had perfect attendance. He did all of his homework. He was very polite in class and very helpful to everyone, to his fellow students. And he was always on time. In fact, he was there before me in the morning. He was early. I wasn't late. He was early. Every single day, like, you beat me again. And he also scored a 100 on his final grammar exam. He was my grammar student. So I am very pleased to honor Maxime Barishayev.
Hi, I'm Steny Crittenden. This is my 6th year in the ESL program, and I really enjoy teaching 3A this term. Everyone in this group showed a great desire to learn, therefore it was very difficult to choose only one student for the special recognition. The young gentleman that we selected is very intelligent, highly motivated, and had excellent attendance. Additionally, he's a very talented singer. It is my pleasure to present this special recognition to Sergio Fitzgerald.
representing the teachers in 3B. I'm Renee Newell. I've been with Hodges a number of years. And the student we're recognizing today is a front row student. She always sat in a seat in the front row of the class. She rode a bike to school, rain or shine, until she could afford a car. She is a whiz on the computer, and she's empathetic beyond her years. She always knew what questions to ask. She knew how to help the students when they were not sure. She knew how to interpret when I didn't get it. So we recognize a student that has a creative mind, a doodler's mind, and the heart of a saint. Geraldine Rodriguez.
My name's Andy Holloway. I teach at Naples. As all of my colleagues have said, it was extremely difficult to reach a decision for this semester's special recognition student, as there were quite a few nominees in 3C that were eligible. We eventually decided to give the special recognition certificate to a student who was dedicated, inquisitive, and determined. So it gives me great pleasure to present 3C student Alice Parathotil with this certificate of special recognition.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Denise Lujan Andavangora. Welcome. This is my fourth year, I'm surprised to say. The time has whizzed by with Hodges, my 39th year in education. I spent 32 years at the University of Florida and then had the pleasure of being noticed by Leisha and invited to join the faculty here at Hodges. At level 4, this is the level where we prepare to enter the academic challenges of higher education. It is not a picnic. It requires fearlessness. It requires fearlessness. And a teacher, not myself, talks about overcoming fear. And this is true of every student in this room, having to overcome the fears of going back to school. Do I have enough time? Do I have enough energy? Do I have enough intelligence? All those things. But remember, fear is like a roaring lion, this teacher said, a roaring lion. But the lion is toothless. Toothless. So everyone in this room has overcome their fears and come to school and gone to that next level. This particular student, even though this student was very accomplished, had everything this was needed to succeed, this student also had fears but overcame them. Unfortunately, this student is not present today, but all of her fellow students, I'm sure, will join me in applauding her, Violeta Zuba.
Okay, and that's everybody, right? We just have a few more recognitions that we would like to make, and I'm going to ask you when I call your name just to stand. For Immokalee, we had 6 students with perfect attendance. That's every day, okay? I didn't have perfect attendance. That's just amazing. So we're going to call out Romelia Duran, Renelle Isnad, Judaline Octave, Regina Francois, Maria Moreno, Edrin Basil. If you could stand up. Okay, Monday to Thursday, 5 to 10 p.m. and Fridays, 5 to 9 p.m. Congratulations, that's hard work, and your persistence, your dedication will get you the results that you're looking for. And also in Naples, perfect attendance, a lot less than Immokalee, but that's okay. Okay, we have Maria Paz, Lida Lopez, Kaisu Yu, Ana Ferraz. Can you stand up? That's dedication. Wonderful. And if I could just extend this to our keynote speaker, Todd Gates. Some of our students from level 3 and 4 took our college entrance exam, and some of them passed. And they may be starting school in the fall at Hodges, so we want to recognize you for moving on from ESL and into an academic arena where you're pursuing a degree. Okay, so in Immokalee, we have Edrin Basil, Marie Esperance, Ercilia Pierre Mene, Marie Neda, Glenda Rodriguez, Gertrude Bicrobec, and Pierre Joseph. Congratulations, Lori. Stand up, please. All of these students passed the Hodges College Entrance Exam, which is people who speak English as a first language can't pass that sometimes. So that's a tremendous accomplishment. Congratulations. And in Naples, we have Sergio Fitzgerald, Vanessa Toro, Rosana Andrade, Geraldine Rodriguez, Franco Marini, Jimena Montevena, Ariel Ogari, Camila Abdurasakova. Camila. All right, Camila. Congratulations. That's wonderful. And I would also like to ask you to thank your instructors, thank your professors for all the hard work and dedication that they make to your learning, to this program, which is not an easy program to teach either. And why don't you give them a hand for the hard work that they do. I know each and every one of them, and they care about you. They care about this work. They believe it's important work. So they put their heart in their job, and they should be recognized for that. Before I call up Dr. Brock, I would just like to say that I want you to keep in mind what Todd Gates said to you, which is if you don't keep moving, you will remain behind. And what Dr. Denise said, it's scary learning something new. All the time, technology is changing, you know, learning a language, it's a process. It's a constant process. The world that we're living in right now, to stay relevant, to keep up, you've got to constantly be learning something. And it's difficult, and sometimes we're just tired of it, but we all have to do it. We all have to. Every time we have a new software program here, I say, oh, I just mastered the other one. Same with your English. You have to keep up. It's a process, and be gentle with yourselves, patient with yourselves, but don't feel bad about not mastering, because none of us are masters for long in this changing world. Okay? Dr. Brock?
Thank you, Leisha. I want to thank Leisha and her faculty for the wonderful job they've done for all of you and for us. So let's give them another round of applause. We are so fortunate to have such dedicated faculty, and I hope the students appreciate it. And we're so proud of what you've accomplished today. You are now part of the Hodges University family. We want you to keep in touch with us and let us know about your successes. And we wish you well in the future. Thank you.